Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Outdoor Adventures on Brownfield. I'm Brent Barnett. This week's show, we're talking about the organization Mid-Mo Youth Outdoors. And joining us today is Andrew Kiesling. Andrew, thanks for being here. How are you doing today?
Good. You?
Doing really good, man. Really excited to learn more about Mid-Mo Youth Outdoors and how this all got started. So before we really dive in, tell us more about you and your connection with the outdoors.
I'm 44. I didn't really start hunting till I was probably 18, 19. My dad really wasn't into the outdoors, so couple buddies of mine, we just learned it on our own, and I ended up, graduating. I had a job that they ended up shutting the doors, and it led me into the taxidermy industry. So now I'm a taxidermist, and it's as my whole life pretty much revolves around hunting, and trying to get as many kids in the outdoors as possible.
That's great. How did this whole effort get started? Can you give us some history?
I had the idea probably, I would say around 2010 or so, that I wanted to look into trying to start a nonprofit organization to help kids that either they didn't have land to hunt, or they just didn't have the lessons, anybody to teach them. So as far as about 2017, I had a customer of mine come in, and I told him about it, and he said, "Man, we need to try to get this started." So we ended up calling the state and figuring out how all the nonprofit stuff worked, and went through all the lawyers and our bylaws and all that good stuff, and we ended up starting a nonprofit group for teaching kids how to hunt, or just enjoy what God's given us. And we do all kinds of stuff with them. It's a lot more than just hunting. It's shed hunting, mushroom hunting. We take them on to Bass Pro or whatnot, or cave trips, or anything that'll keep the kids interactive with the outdoors is our goal. So that's pretty much how our group started.
Andrew, why is it so important to have kids be connected with the outdoors?
I have a lot of people ask me that, they want to know if I started it, just because kids are on video games or sports or whatever. But really, I mean, the main reason why I wanted to start it is mainly when you're, I mean, I'm sure you hunt, or everybody listening, they hunt, but when you're in that tree stand and you're alone with God, and realizing what He give us to appreciate, and how everything just in my view is, when I'm out there, I am hunting, but everything's just, it's peaceful. It's everything that's going on is not, it's just gone. So I kind of wanted to get the kids to feel what I have felt whenever I'm hunting, and it's just pretty much just enjoying what God has given us. And and a lot of them just haven't, they never, like myself, just never had that opportunity when I was younger. So that was my goal of starting the group. My main goal on starting this group was that.
I was really fortunate. I grew up in Northwest Missouri and was introduced to hunting and fishing at a really young age in my family. And so I've carried all that up until my life today, and I'm now passing that on to my 3 kids. And do you ever hear from kids that have come through the program, Mid-Mo Youth Outdoors, and now we're years ahead from maybe back when you started? Have they like reconnected and talked with you about their experiences?
Yeah, so what we do in our group is they go from 6 to 16 is how they in our group, and when they graduate out of our group at 16, they can roll into a volunteer in our program. Every kid that we've got 102 kids now, and out of there's probably 30 some that have graduated out of our group since we started in 2019. and they've all rolled into volunteers into our group. So they're either taking kids hunting, or they're coming and helping us set up at events, or they're helping at the banquet. All of them still participate in our group, and which is pretty amazing. There's 9 individuals on my board, and we've also got a junior board. So that way, when we get out, we're hoping that the junior board, keeps this organization going. But all of them, I mean, it's pretty amazing to see the kids that started in 18 when they were 9, 10 years old and had no idea of anything of hunting. And now they're taking their nephews or their younger brothers or somebody out there. And it's a pretty good feeling when they send you the pictures, you're turkey hunting, and all of a sudden you get a picture of one of your kids that was in the group when they were 10 and 11, and now they're taking, another 8 or 9 year old. So
I think it's really cool what you guys are doing. I feel like my kids have really taken on to fishing. Do you guys get a lot of fishing opportunities?
Yeah.
With youth?
Yeah, we got a lot of farmers around here that open their pond to us. We've got a Jeff Falkenberry's a guide. Well, he's not anymore. He was. I don't know if you all have heard of him. I think everybody has. But he's a big name guide down at Truman. And
Sure.
anytime I call him, if a kid calls me and says, "Hey, I want to go fishing at Truman," I text him. He was actually on the phone with me right before I started this. I text him, say, "Hey, I got a kid and his parents that want to come fishing." He sets the date up and he takes them fishing. It's pretty nice.
So as you've taken kids out, let's just say for hunting, what are some of the cool stories? Do you have any off the top of your head, some of the most memorable experiences? I'm sure there's a lot of them.
Oh yeah. I mean, shoot, there's so many. I don't know. There's so many of them. You never know. You never know what you're going to get asked in a blind. And usually, a lot of the kids we take. So when we started this group, we always took 2 adults and we ran GoPros and whatever, just for safety reasons. Back then, you got asked a lot of questions just about life, or you talked to them about school, sports. And then about 3 years ago, we made it to where their parents had to come. They sit with us now if we take them. And but yeah, it's I don't know. I know I've had so many. I don't know which one I'd really even pick. I mean, it's they're all there's nothing better than watching a kid harvest something for the first time. And I've got 3 daughters, and I've seen all 3 of them harvest something. But I'm blessed enough that I've probably seen over 300 to 400 kids harvest their first animal. And a lot of people are like 300, 400, but it is definitely that many. And it's just that's probably the most enjoyable thing is just being there for their first one. But as far as stories, I mean, there's so many I wouldn't really know. I mean, I took a girl one time and we had, I turkey hunt. I'm a diehard turkey hunter, so I like to get out there early. And we had a windstorm up here. It was 40, 50 mile an hour gusts. And I think it was 4 o'clock when they were meeting us here, and my neighbor helps me with the group. He's on my board, and he texts me and he said, "Man, they're not going to show up, are they?" And I was like, "No, they're not showing up in this." Her dad and her were supposed to meet me here at the shop, and my alarm went off on my driveway, and I'm like, "Oh my God, they're here. They want to go in this." And so I text him, and Hayden come back over, and we're sitting there holding the blind down with our feet and hands, and we're walking through mud, and you would never, you couldn't hear a turkey gobble. There was so much wind and the downpour rain, and we sat there till maybe an hour and a half, and I actually called in a strutter and come in, and she got him, and she is now a junior in college, and she's on my junior board. She had never hunted prior to that. And it doesn't matter anywhere we go to talk to kids about hunting, that story comes up. And, and that's probably my favorite. I would say my favorite hunt with a kid that I've ever had, just knowing that she was that dedicated and had no idea what she was getting into. And, we teach them how to shoot the gun, but it was the first time she ever turkey hunted. She had no idea what we were doing. And, her and her dad still show up here with 40-mile-an-hour wind in a hailstorm and pouring down rain. That's probably my most memorable hunt that I've had.
Man, that's really cool. It's kind of like that saying, like, you can't kill them if you're sitting on the couch at home.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's hard to put a lot of the hunts up against my own kids, but that one there would definitely be probably top.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about funding? Do you guys, how's like your organization, your nonprofit receive funding, and how do you get support?
So when I started this, I all my board members were business owners, so I wanted to start it to make sure they had time. So at first, it was pretty much funded by us for about a year. After that, we started, the work kind of got out. We had Whitetails Unlimited kind of jumped in and started helping us, just paying for insurance, getting us some blinds, and then we started a banquet, and we have a banquet in March every year, first Saturday of March. It usually seats around 600 people in it, and that banquet, covers our expenses for all kids hunting, all the hunting trips, whatever camo they need. If they need a firearm, we'll purchase one. So they can use. Crossbows, we buy all their crossbows for them if they need one. Anything that they need is pretty much funded through our banquet. We also have a golf tournament, in July that helps raise a little bit of money just for fun, but mainly just our banquet. So
That's great. What's coming up for you guys? I was just skimming your group's Facebook page, Midmo Youth Outdoors, before we hopped on the call, and it looks like you have coming up in August a youth trap and skeet shooting event. You guys are right?
Yeah, we have a trap and skeet event. We teamed up with the California Shooters Club. They were wanting to get some kids out there and try to get more kids involved. So they reached out to us to see if we would set up a skeet shoot with them. I think that'll go over pretty good. As far as us, we always do a 4th of July family day in July where we shoot skeet and we have a fireworks display for the kids and cook and then in August, I don't remember exactly what we have in August. I'd have to get on our app, but usually we have like an archery shoot in August, getting ready for archery season, a 3D shoot for them. And in the wintertime, we take them to like, a cave or Bass Pro. Last year, we took them to a guy out here that he does show pigs. So we took them out there and took a tour of his show pigs in his barns. I mean, like I said, anything we can do to get them outside is our goal. And we usually have about 8 events a year, and they'll get a point for each event they go to, and then that's how we pick what kids get to go on the hunting trips that we give out. The more points, the better chances they have at golden bear hunting or mountain lion hunting or whatnot. So
Yeah, I know we've talked a lot about turkey hunting. Do you guys do deer hunting in the fall?
yeah, we do. So we have probably a half a dozen volunteers, not counting the board members. The first 2 or 3 years, it seemed like it was just us taking them, but now their parents are going. I mean, that's another good thing about this. I mean, a lot of these parents didn't have a clue, and now they're all archery hunters, or they'll go with a gun, and so your numbers kind of go down as the kids and the family, pick it up. So you don't get as many of them to take, but we still take, a couple dozen, deer hunting. Turkey hunting's a little bit different because a lot of the parents don't know how to turkey hunt. And another thing is property, for turkeys too. But yeah, we get to deer hunt a lot with them.
Andrew, really great stuff here. How can like our viewers and our listeners stay connected with you guys, and how can they find out more information if they want to get involved or maybe have kids enrolled?
Yeah, we pretty much do it all on our Facebook page. You can message us on Facebook, the Midmo Youth Outdoors page. We also have a Spotify podcast. Our podcast's on Spotify. Most parents, they'll call me at my phone number, but a lot of them reach out to us on Facebook. Facebook seems to work easily, better than anything else.
Just give them a search there, Midmo Youth Outdoors. Andrew, thanks for coming on the show, man. I hope you guys have a great, successful summer and fall, and maybe we'll have you back on the show sometime soon.
Anytime. Just let me know. I
Andrew,
enjoy it.
Awesome. Me too. Andrew Kiesling joining us here on Brownfield. Be sure to check them out online, Midmo Youth Outdoors. I'm Brent Barnett with Brownfield Ag News. Have a great weekend and get outside.